You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Hey, Don on the beat.
Ay, I got so many ups.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ups.
so many ups.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Ay, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome everybody. I don't know why our views are growing so slow, but holy cow, to only have 2 people watching and we delay the start of the show to make sure the notifications go out. It's really weird. I don't know if Soonie can hear us because she was having audio problems. Can you hear us? You can hear now. Okay, she's good now. At any rate, please help this stream and hit that like button, furiously hit the like button. And also, I know if you're watching from my stream, I don't know if you can do this on the Somewhere in the Middle stream, but you can do like hearts and emojis and things like that. Do whatever you can to help us out because something is definitely suppressing the views tonight. Could be our topics. I don't know. Anyways, guys, welcome. This is our Tuesday Hot Topic show. We have a lot of topics today. Let us know where you're watching from, which platform. We always like to know. If you're new here, also let us know because we're curious to see if anybody new is joining the stream. Make sure you are subscribing to Somewhere in the Middle. Looks like we lost Soonie. Make sure you're subscribing to Somewhere in the Middle YouTube page if you're watching from any of the other platforms. And if you are watching from my platform, Let's Talk Darling on YouTube, you can donate to the stream by hitting the money sign by the chat box or, sorry, I have an animal fight going on here. My cat is literally taunting the dogs from behind the gate. So nothing actually is going on. It just sounds bad. So you might see me mute my microphone and mouth, shut the fuck up. Okay. So if you see that, I'm not saying it to you. I'm saying it to the dogs. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go over the topics that we're going to discuss today because we do have a lot of topics to cover. Lots of stuff going on in the news. Obviously, we just had the Super Bowl last weekend. I say last weekend, but it was like literally just a couple days ago. So we will be doing a small Super Bowl recap. I don't think that Soonie nor I are that at all, obsessed with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce as much as the world seems to be, or some of the other, I feel like insignificant stuff that happened at the Super Bowl. I thought it was not a bad Super Bowl, actually. It ended up exactly how I thought it was going to end up, but we'll go into that a little bit more. Then we're going to talk about this spending bill that was approved in the Senate, and it is another spending bill for Ukraine. We're going to go over the details of that. I don't know how much Soonie has been able to read into it, but we're going to go into that because that is a scary, scary thing. If by chance it were to get passed, if it were by chance to get passed in the House, which I don't think it will. So anyways, we'll talk about that. We're also going to touch on the Lakewood church shooter that happened the other day in Houston. That's at Joel Osteen's church. We're going to talk about Kamala. You guys know we always have a little Kamala segment. And yeah, we're going to talk about Kamala and what she said recently. You good?
It's just my internet.
Okay. You can hear me though?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do a little just quick comment on what Kamala said about President Biden. We had touched on the fact that, cognitively, he's looking worse and worse by the day on the last show. And now Kamala has spoken on that. So we're going to talk about that. And then if you guys did not see the Black comedian David Lucas, I have to mention that he's Black because it's pertinent to the story. He told a joke that his audience did not like, and it was about George Floyd. And literally half the audience apparently walked out on the show. So we're going to play a clip from that. Hopefully we don't get, blocked even more just for playing that. And there was an elementary school that had a rather interesting emergency drill. I found it interesting. And, some people, the parents in particular, were not very happy with this drill and how the principal conducted it. And we're going to get some thoughts on that out because, as usual, I don't think that we have the same thoughts as everybody else does on this particular topic. And then I snuck a last minute topic in here because it just kind of happened. But the House has voted to impeach Department of Homeland Security Secretary Andrew Mayorkas. And is it Andrew? Anthony?
I think it's Anthony.
Alejandro. That's what it is. Mayorkas over the border crisis. So we'll give you guys an update on that. I am blown away at how slow the views are going up on this. Very strange.
I don't know, man.
You good? You good? You good, Soonie? You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, my stuff's just not working the way it should. That's all.
Okay. All right. You want me to take over while you figure it out?
No, I'm good. I'm just pulling up topics.
Okay. I guess let's talk about an easy one, the Super Bowl. What did you think about the Super Bowl? There was a lot happening that people were in an uproar about, from who won to, obviously
We're in an uproar about who won.
Yeah, they were in uproar about who won because, of course, it's like, there's a script and everything's rigged and, blah, 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 blah. And then Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and Ice Spice doing the devil horn thing, while she was dancing. The Usher performance, was it good? Was it bad? Usher hugging Alicia Keys, was that inappropriate? So there was a little uproar there. I thought it was a pretty tame show.
I only heard about Usher and the whole interaction between Kelce and his coach. Everything else you just said, I have never heard of that.
You didn't hear about any of it?
She put up the devil horns. I've done that in pictures. Am I like a Satan worshiper now?
Well, yeah.
To me, it meant rock and roll.
Pretty much. No, like apparently there's like a very specific, it's like this. It's like,
I've done that before.
Oh, okay. I've never done that, but so the situation went like this, and I wish I had the video because there's like a video of it. But first, let me just explain the story. So she's with, the Pfizer boyfriend's girlfriend, Taylor Swift. And, there's that, right? So like, what is she doing there? How did she get there? How did she even get invited? Nevertheless, she had a cross necklace on. It was the upside down cross. She was wearing Balenciaga, and she did this as soon as she saw that the Jumbotron was on her. So people are like, she's satanic. She's the devil.
I don't know, man.
I think at this point, everything is the devil.
Not saying that she's not satanic, but I think people saw sorry, I got jets flying over me. If you guys can hear that in the background.
Uh-huh.
I think people saw all the press, or not people, celebrities saw all the press that what's his name? Lil Nas X was getting every time he did something demonic.
Yeah.
Now I think people just do it just to get people talking about this, because who was talking about Ice Spice before then? And honestly, why is anybody talking about her now?
Right.
That's how I feel. I think I'm going to be very boring on this subject because I think it's dumb to even be talking about Taylor Swift or her relationship or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many important things going on. It was a Super Bowl game. Okay. The game was a fire game. It was actually a competitive game in which showed up. I don't think it was rigged. I saw the whole number 13 thing that people were making a big fuss about. Apparently, Alicia Keys had some symbolism. I didn't see it. I watched it, but maybe I was just enjoying the Super Bowl halftime performance show.
Uh-huh.
that I didn't see no symbolism. Am I tripping? Did you see it?
Yeah, well, they are saying because the red, obviously, red piano, like, blah 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 blah. Alicia Keys, um, that she's tied into the Illuminati.
Why can't it
Of
just
course,
be
she
red,
is.
white, and blue? I see blue right there. I see white around the circle, and then she got red on. Why can't it just be America?
Well, here's my thing: is even if this was a nod to the devil and to Satan, what are y'all gonna do about it other than just complain? Okay, because that's all
You're
I
gonna watch
hear.
the Super Bowl.
You're gonna watch the Super Bowl. I watched the Super Bowl. I loved the halftime show. I loved Alicia Keys. I even loved this. And some of you guys are losing your godforsaken minds over this. Oh my gosh, the way he's hugging her, the way he's coming up behind her. I have seen, I don't know how many memes of people making fun of this whole situation. And I'm just like, really? Who cares? Did y'all not see the video?
Yeah,
This
the
has
song
been
is
the
called
entire
"My
video.
Boo." Okay?
Right.
They're performers, much like actors. Like y'all don't get up in arms when you see actors who are married kissing other actors or actresses.
Right.
So
Right.
I could see if this was a random girl that he pulled from the audience, and yes,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to have some sort of decorum. But I don't think she did anything wrong.
Yeah. I don't think so.
I don't think it was that big of a deal.
I don't think so either. I think she looked great. I loved her outfit. I mean,
People were
she
trying to
could
figure out if she was pregnant. I'm like, why can't y'all just watch the halftime show?
What?
She's in her mid-40s. She's gonna have a little fupa.
Right.
Hey.
And she took a little break, okay? She took a little break and she got a little weight on her. She went all natural. She's not rocking that much makeup these days. Like, here's my thing. Again, I go back to the fact that people, number one, Sudi's right. We have bigger things to worry about than this, like than Taylor Swift and like the color and the symbolisms and all this other stuff. Literally, like while we were sleeping, another bomb happened in the Middle East. Another bombing happened in the Middle East, and they worked and passed or are working to pass the spending bill and to give Ukraine more money for years to come.
Which
And
passed
this
in the
is
House,
what,
by the way.
yeah. Oh, it did.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh gosh.
Foreign aid
Anyways.
passed once again.
Well, there you go. Okay. Now we're fucked and we're going to explain to you why. But I mean, seriously, it's not a good thing. And I'm just over people just like getting obsessed over insignificant things that I don't personally feel like matter.
I got to correct myself. It passed in the Senate.
Oh, it passed
Either
in the
way,
Senate.
the Senate is supposed to be the people who are advocating for us. I expect the House to do certain things.
Right.
I don't expect the Senate, okay, to pass a $95 billion aid for Ukraine, Israel. No.
See, look at this. It's also said it was a pagan ritual when Usher was standing on the fire stage. Wait, you want to hear something funny? So today, Gabby and I were kind of like, because she had never seen, obviously, because she wasn't even born, the Michael Jackson halftime show. And so I was like, Gabby, you need to see the show because this show was fire. The Michael Jackson halftime show was fire. And when she saw it, she was like, oh, it's like really basic. The stadium was a lot smaller. The whole event was a lot smaller because this was back in 1994. But the performance was amazing. And then I was like, okay, now let's watch Beyonce's. Now let's watch Bruno Mars. Now let's watch this one. And we were seeing all kinds of stuff during those performances that I was like, seriously, Kenny? That I was like, if people went back and watched this and had the same energy they have with all these other things that they say are demonic and pagan rituals and all this other stuff, they would have noticed it then too. Like, there's so many things. And I don't know if they are or they aren't. Okay. Like, frankly, I don't care. Like, my life cannot be doom and gloom all the time where I'm just constantly overanalyzing everything and the colors and the symbolisms and the shapes and the words. I just don't have the energy. I don't have the energy anymore for that. So
when it's, I don't know. When it's like I get recognizing symbolisms.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people are starting to look for it everywhere, even
Yeah.
when there's not even any hints of it. And
Yeah.
like you said, you're gonna watch the Super Bowl. All the people complaining about this, y'all straight up celebrated the fact that Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem, 50 Cent got on stage glorifying gang culture, gangster
And that was a
culture.
good show.
So miss me with the BS, straight up. Like honestly, man, I think it was me and Bryson who were like, dude, they're dancing in jail attire. No,
Yeah.
it's not funny.
I love that show.
I think it was the younger generation that was like, "What in the world is this?" And then the older people, the same people who are complaining now about, "Oh, this hold was inappropriate." Y'all celebrated thuggery.
Y'all were crip walking.
Culture.
Y'all were crip walking in your living room. Okay.
Y'all was throwing up the sets, you know,
I was
stacking.
throwing up
Stop
the
it.
sets. I was throwing up the sets. I was crip walking. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on.
I'm from California, so you know that just it spoke to me for sure. But Usher's halftime show was awesome. I agree, Chris. I had fun. Like, I feel like he kept it to just his hits and he looked like he was having a good time. There were a few funny moments, like where one of the roller skater girls like fell off the stripper pole that she was on. Like, why you're on a stripper pole with roller skates on, you were asking for a fall.
Did you notice that nobody complained about the stripper poles being up there, but they're complaining about a hug?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I love the Usher show. I thought he did great. I was really happy for him because I was like, he looked like he just was enjoying the moment himself and it was just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, the song was Let It Burn. Not everything is pagan. That's the song. Was it pagan when he made it? When it came out? Y'all were screaming pagan then.
People will say that he's talking about burning. Like he has the what is it, the gonorrheas. I don't know. Everybody has their own conspiracy theory about why things are happening on stage. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was very tamed. I didn't think there was much going on except for nostalgia and him bringing out all these different artists. And even those artists, they didn't even say the explicit language that they normally say.
Yeah. It was pretty.
Y'all be trying to find an issue with everything.
God,
God darn.
Yeah. You guys are the people that like complain so much that like they take all the fun out of everything and then we're not going to have any fun.
You want to know what I heard though?
What?
Listen. I was in Discord last night.
Oh Lord.
And somebody came in. Shout out to Nick. This is Nick. Nick actually gave this conspiracy theory. And your mouth is going to fall to the floor. Nick comes in and he says, "Hey guys, I got one for you about the halftime show. I noticed something." And we were like, "Okay." And then he said the Super Bowl. Let me correct myself. We were like, "Okay." He was like, "You know how Taylor Swift was just drinking so much?" And we were like, "Yeah, it's a Super Bowl. It's normally what people do at football games." And he was
right.
Like, she was drinking like that because she knew when Travis Kelce won the Super Bowl, he was going to propose to her, and she doesn't know how to act.
What?
You hear the crickets?
What? Was that a joke?
No, he was dead serious. I laughed so freaking hard because he was dead serious about this is why she drank so much. I'm just giving you another observation that Americans came up with.
Yeah.
To explain why certain things happened during the Super Bowl. And apparently Taylor Swift was drinking so much because she had a pending proposal coming her way and she needed an out for it.
So has anybody said anything to Nick on the fact that they're not engaged?
Hey.
I think he misread the headline. Actually, Usher is the one that got married right after the Super Bowl to his longtime girlfriend. So I think you confused your stories there.
No, I think the conspiracy theories are starting to rot through people's brains that they come up with any and everything.
Shit.
Bro, I cried.
Yeah.
Laughing at that ridiculous conspiracy. And he was serious. I laughed for 30 minutes, Mo. Like screaming, laughing.
Oh.
He was dead serious. Like,
when you said that, I was like, am I missing something here? Well, Here is something else that I didn't get to see this actual commercial because I only stayed up until the halftime show and then I had to go to bed. But apparently Kanye paid for a Super Bowl commercial, and I'm about to play it for you because like this is real. Like I saw this and I was like, is this a joke? Like this is really like he really did have a Super Bowl. Like, did anybody see this? Apparently people did see this, so it really did hit the air. Like they didn't suppress it or anything like that. But he spent $7 million on the spot for the Super Bowl commercial, $0 on production, because what you're about to see is him doing the commercial from his car on his iPhone. And he had a return as of when I last looked at this was $20 million already. The reason why he had a return of $20 million is because he put everything on his website for $20 on the Yeezy website. Now, my son went this morning and he scooped up a few items, and I will let you know what they're like when we get them. But in addition to everything being $20, the tax was $20. Everything's coming from Italy, so it's $20 no matter how much in tax. Okay. So there weren't a lot of items on there. There were these clothes, a few men's clothes, a few women's clothes, some like these outfits. I think my son got some shirts. Okay. But this is what I was cracking up at. We were driving and my son goes, oh my gosh, the size guide. Oh, did I not send it? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. So when you look at the size guide, this is what it says. Brother is a size 11 and he's wearing a size 3. Okay. I was like, I've never seen a size guide say that. I always go to the size guide and usually it's like a chart and it's like, if you're this size, you should be about this size. This says brother is a size 11. He's wearing a size 3. Okay. So I was like, Evan, what size did you get? And Evan got a size 3. So I'll let you know how the quality is when we get it. But I thought that was quite interesting. But let's take a look at the commercial that aired at the Super Bowl.
Hey y'all, this Ye, and it's my commercial. And since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we actually didn't spend any money on the actual commercial. But the idea is I want you to go to Yeezy.com, YEEZY.com, and I'm gonna write it at the bottom of the screen. And I got some shoes, and that's it.
That's it. That was the commercial. Did you see that? Is this the first time you're seeing this? Was that not the most ghettoest thing you've ever seen? But like so effective.
That's it.
He said, go to Yeezy.com. I don't know why he was talking like that, but he's like, go to Yeezy.com.
He's got a grilling.
Yeah, but he had this like weird tone to his voice, like a little kid.
Well, he made 20 million, so I guess it worked, and it wasn't as ghetto and trashy as it seemed to be. Like, I want to be able to put a commercial up and say, hey, it's $20, go get this, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, it's a W. He made 20 mil off of a ghetto commercial, just telling people to go to his website,
Genius.
buy something for $20.
He called it we on some Steve Jobs Apple type shit. That's what he said. That's what he said. I was like, I ain't never seen Steve Jobs do nothing from his iPhone, from his car with a grill in his mouth, but whatever. Yeah.
Kanye is an acquired taste. I tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's an acquired taste.
He really
I
is.
didn't see that commercial. I didn't get to see the first half of Super Bowl commercials because AFN, which is military, it's Armed Forces Network.
Mm-hmm.
It's the military's cable, pretty much. They were cheap and didn't pay for the rights.
Oh, that sucks.
So we had to look at the first half. We had to look at corny ass AFN commercials telling you don't drink and drive. Do your training.
Oh,
Then we logged
man.
into our Prime and everybody got to see the Super Bowl commercials. But Super Bowl commercials weren't that good this year.
They really weren't. They were not. They were.
weren't
I
that
know
good this
you
year.
had one you wanted to talk about.
I did. Am I going in and out or can you guys hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. I do have a Super Bowl commercial and I'm actually going to show it real quick. Someone posted this. You saw this commercial, right? Hopefully everybody's seen the commercial. Somebody posted this and they said, this is the only important commercial, like the only commercial that mattered. And I thought, what are we doing as American citizens? Like, why are we picking up this ridiculous mantle of anti-Semitism being extremely prevalent in America and Jewish people are somehow under attack? But we didn't have the same energy towards the opposite side, which would be BLM. That to me, that they're the equivalent. I don't see any difference.
Yep.
I don't see how people are drawing a difference. I don't know. But here's a commercial. You guys tell me what you think. This will kind of segue into our next topic about the foreign aid, the bombing. Because I know that's why a lot of people came. They wanted to see me talk about this, and I can't go live on Instagram. So you better catch it now because I won't be talking about this again.
You can't go live.
No, I can't go live until 2 days from now.
Oh.
We're gonna be late. Hi, Mr. Coney. Mom, what's that?
Nothing. Just get in the car. Let's go.
Who did that?
Come on. Right now. In. Get in. Right now. Let's go.
Did you paint it or something?
Move it. Seatbelt on. Right now. Put your seatbelt on.
What?
Hi, Mr. Cody.
What does that say?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Mom, we're gonna be late. Hi, Mr. Coney.
It says 1 in 4 Jewish people experience anti-Semitism in America. You know, but the reason I called it propaganda, because I know some people are going to get in their feelings, are going to get sensitive, is because this is just like saying 1 in 4 Black people experience police brutality or experience some sort of racial interaction with the white police officer. That somehow means he hates this Black person, right? And we call a lot of that into question because that means we're indicting every single police officer in America to somehow have some sort of like implicit bias against Black men in America. So what they do is they compare how likely you are to experience this thing in America, right? And they take from the sample size that they have, and then they put these likelihoods out there. That's one of the reasons why I don't like using per capita and I like using raw numbers. Some people will argue that per capita is raw numbers per person. But when you don't really compare the actual numbers of what's happening, then you can't get a likelihood of how it's happening. Or you can lie with statistics. Everyone knows this. So if you go to the ADL's website, this is the Anti-Defamation League. They have numbers of how often anti-Semitism occurs in America. And the last time we did a show on this, I think there were 7 incidents within 2023 alone. 7. Okay. And because it doesn't happen so often and they are a small population, those numbers show up alarming. But it's no different than the statistics that were presented with BLM and police brutality. I'm saying this is propaganda because let me ask you, much like we ask people, do you know anybody who has experienced police brutality? If you're Black,
No.
You don't know. You can be any race, but I'm just saying, there's a question that we ask Black people. You as a Black person, that this is happening at such a high rate, then we should know someone who's experienced this, right? We should know someone who's been killed. We should know someone who's been beat up. And now I'm going to ask the same towards Jewish people. How often do you see a swastika put up on someone's garage? The
Not
last
just
time we had an event of anti-Semitism, and I'll let you go. The last time we had an event of anti-Semitism, it was on the side of a building, and it mentioned something correlated with the jab. Do you remember I talked about this? Because I said, what are these instances of anti-Semitism?
I vaguely remember, yeah.
I'm going to pull it up. While you talk, I'm going to pull it up. But what do you think so far?
Well, I just wanted to say this. And I'm not like making one more worse than the other because, you know, hate is hate and it's not good no matter how it is.
Yeah.
But I- if you're black and you feel like you have experienced racism, like let's just say you feel like I'm being racist towards you, right? I can clearly see you're black.
Mhm.
Okay? I can tell you're black. You look black. It's obvious, okay? Tell me how you're walking down the street and you're like, "Oh, that's a Jew." Because for number one, Jewish people come in all colors, number one. There's a lot of Puerto Rican Jews. I don't know how that's possible, but apparently some people have family members that are Jews. So they're, you know, in order to be an official Jew, your mother has to be a Jew. So whatever, I'm not going to try to figure that out. But how I can look at you and determine you're Jew, unless you have, you know, like the thing on the outside of your door that indicates that you're Jewish, or you're some type of marcation on your clothing or your car or whatever that's telling me you're Jewish. I don't know how somebody just like walks down the street and is like, I feel like I am getting hate. Like it's kind of implying in this commercial, right? I mean,
Here's an example. This is just one example. I'm gonna quickly show this, and I'm gonna pull it down because we know how YouTube can get.
right.
This is a sample. Can you see it?
Not yet. Okay, now I see it.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
This is
Jacoby and Meyer.
anti-Semitism. It's right underneath. Don't read it out loud, but it's right there. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the instances of anti-Semitism in America. So by that logic, you saying anything against BLM, which we know is a Marxist group that took money away from Black communities in order to fund their lifestyles to live outside of Black communities and white communities in which they say are dangerous for them. Right? But everybody called out the fact that they were a fraudulent group. I think we were all there for that. But we can't call out a fraudulent faction of these people, not all of them, that is wreaking, they are causing chaos and havoc in this country with their ridiculous race-baiting propaganda. You can't do that or else you're anti-Semitic.
Right. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I found it odd that so many people were quiet about this airing.
I didn't even see that commercial.
It's a lie. It's a lie. 1 in 4 Jews experience anti-Semitism.
Is that what it said at the end?
Yes. Having an opinion. So I can't have an opinion about a certain demographic in your community, but you can have an opinion about a certain demographic in mine, which is criminals, right? We can bring up 1350 24/7, and that's not anti-Black.
Yeah.
If I bring up the tunnels in New Jersey and New York, then I'm anti-Semitic.
No, there's literally laws that protect them. There's laws that protect them. Like I got hit with a strike on YouTube and they cited me with a law and they were like, this law protects you know who's. And I was like, what? I was like, wait a minute.
The comment section, we need you guys to get active. This is how the show works.
Something is going on.
Do you guys find this odd? It really bothers me how quiet people get when it comes to this discussion. It does. Because if we were up here talking about BLM and their mostly peaceful protests, there would be so many people commenting about how dangerous they are, how violent they are.
I'll be honest, like as much as we have opinions about things, hey, I love Jews. I wish I was a Jew sometimes. Like they seem to have a great life. Everybody's a doctor. You know what I mean? There's mad money in the they get umpteen days and the holidays. There's lots of benefits to being a Jew. So, there's no hate going on here. This is just opinions. But yeah, we want to know your opinion. But you're right. Like, people tend to get kind of silent on this. But it's funny. Like, they don't get silent when you talk about Black people. Like, that people got all kinds of opinions on that.
No. And I'm not saying that these people, look, I don't think people are racist. I think that you are afraid to voice an opinion about this specific demographic. And I think it's a very irrational fear.
Yeah.
A lot of these topics that we have centered around race and who's the problem in this country and who's not the problem.
Yeah.
It's fueling so much hatred, so much division. We can talk about the problems, but when you try to smack a face on one and then not want to talk about the face of the other and come up with excuses here and there and everywhere, it creates this divide, and it really strengthens negative stereotypes that do not depict the majority of law-abiding citizens in this country, whether you're white, Black, Jewish, Mexican, migrant, whatever you are.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree. I wish we could talk in depth about this. I really do.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
But we can't.
So we won't.
Yeah, but I did want to talk about another Super Bowl ad. It's a commercial that was called the He Gets Us campaign.
Oh God, they're back.
Yes, and one of the casting agencies that I work for here in Dallas, they're actually the ones behind this ad, the Super Bowl ad. And it's gone pretty viral, and it's gotten a lot of controversy. So the He Gets Us campaign is a campaign that says it wants to help everyone rediscover the love story of Jesus. I'm going to play the commercial in a second. They organized 2 ad spots during the game Sunday, a 60-second ad called Foot Washing and a 15-second ad called Who Is My Neighbor? So I want to play this commercial for the people because I want to know what you think. Where the frick did it go? Come on. See, it's plotting on me now. It is plotting on me. Hold on. Let me pull it right back up. YouTube. I had it all queued up. Have you I remember this last year, right?
Yeah. I was the one who was like, this is when David J. Harris, dude, this is wash, rinse, repeat. When David J. Harris got on live crying, having a fake praise and worship session, saying all Americans need this. And then you get to the website and they're super ambiguous about where God falls on homosexuality. You're leading people to hell, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Red Pill says she rebukes that ad with the blood of Jesus. All right. All right. Here is the commercial for those of you guys that did not see it. A lot of comments were saying that this is AI generated. There actually were real people in this ad. And like the AI generation was based off of real people. The reason why I know that is because some of my friends were actually a part of this commercial. So I'm going to play it for you guys real quick. I think it's a minute long. Oh, here we go.
Don't ask me what you know is true. Don't have to tell you I love your precious heart. I was standing. You were there.
Here you go, Soonie. They double dipped on this one.
Two worlds collided, and they could never tear us apart.
This one took me out.
Why?
This one took me out, okay? This is a priest washing clearly a gay man's feet. Now you know dang well, okay? What's up, Chelly? You know dang well.
We can live for 1,000 years.
All right.
I don't have anything to say because if I say it, nope, I don't have nothing to say.
Looks like Christian Walker.
Nothing to say.
Time to flip tables. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a disgrace. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he washed feet. Yes, he ate with sinners, but y'all tell the other side of the story. Okay. Tell the full story. Don't
what
just
did
tell
he
the
say? What did he say? And I think it was John 18 or just in the book of John. What was a reoccurring theme that Jesus said to all these people? Does anybody know?
Look out for wolves in sheep's clothing.
No. It's not what he said, Mo. I want to see people in the comment section say something first.
Repent?
He said, go and sin no more.
Oh, okay.
He didn't like I don't have nothing to say. That's it. We're going to leave it there. Thank you, Elizabeth. Go and sin no more. That's it. It's that simple, bro. I'm not judging no one's sin, okay? Everybody has their vice. But we were told to go and sin no more after we have turned to Christ, especially after baptism. You are supposed to be washed. And you're supposed to come up with a clean heart and a new mind.
Yeah.
And the Holy Spirit can't dwell in anything unclean. These are things in the Bible. I didn't say it. God did. So I have a problem with commercials like that. But when Christians get upset, we are deemed as hateful. So I'm going to shut my mouth.
Yeah. You know, I think there were a lot of obviously there were a lot of propaganda commercials that were going on. And that just seems to be where the tide is turning. Like, gone are the days of just hilarious. I mean, there were some like funny commercials in there, but it used to be that it was like
propaganda based.
It's all propaganda. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Hella exhausting. Shelly's here. What's up, Shelly?
Yeah. She's like, I finally caught you guys live show. I know we're spending a lot of time on the Super Bowl, but did y'all sing along to the Black National Anthem?
Absolutely
Let
not.
us march on till victory is won.
Absolutely.
Well, if you missed it, this is Andra Day, and she sang the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice. And let's take a look.
The fuck?
Let us march on to victory.
Oh,
dude,
sounds horrible.
First of all, the black people back here are acting hella disrespectful. Nobody knows the words to this song. Not one person. Mo was on the lookout.
Horrible. Who?
I don't think she sounds horrible.
Bruh.
No, I don't think she sounds horrible, but
Mo.
This dancing, the background dancers.
Play this clip, please. She sounds. She's off.
Till victory is won.
I don't think she's.
They was gonna have somebody sing it. They should have got Jasmine Sullivan. You could have got Lauryn Hill. You could have got a plethora of people. What?
Right, Shelly? Where was the Puerto Rican anthem? Something sofrito. Suavemente besame. That's our Puerto Rican anthem. Oh man. Yeah.
That was horrific.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. And then there was this one. Okay. I love that Graham Allen posted this because I was like, listen, I love Chris Jones and all, but he looked like a little kid, like when your mama like yelling at you and you like trying to cry and the tears just not coming out. So you do this. You see, he's like, he blinked. He blinked, so the tears came out. He blinked, so the tears came out.
Reba,
good one, Chris.
Why they do the national anthem like this?
And here's our favorite girl.
Oh Lord,
this is.
We don't care what you do and don't stand for, Kari Lake. Please, we don't care.
What I think is funny about this is I don't even think this picture is from the Super Bowl. No,
it's from last year.
It's from last year. Yeah, that's what I thought. And she's like, I'm still not standing for this divisive garbage. One nation, one anthem.
Prove it.
Oh man. Anyways. Oh
man.
Yeah. Here's another funny one that I bookmarked. Oh, wait, I'm trying to click on the video over here. Look at that. Until you do right by me, San Francisco. That's Colin. He's cursing y'all.
Horrible. Wait, just so you can see my devil hands. You see?
Oh, y'all didn't catch on to that. Soonie's the devil. You better post it now. Post it now. Put it back up there, Soonie, so people can screenshot
Why?
it.
See, you can. Why you always want to have people doing me dirty? No, let's do Mo dirty.
Mo don't do that. I don't do devil signs.
No, I'm not putting it back up.
I didn't even know what that sign was. I like the whole like hand motion. I'm not familiar with.
To me, it was let's go rock and roll. It wasn't even that big of a deal, but
I thought that was like what you do. I thought that was like this, but she's doing this.
You can do this. You can do this. There's several ways to do it.
Oh, Lord.
Like, it's not that deep. I promise you it's not.
Okay.
I thought Reba sang well. Listen.
It was all right. It was really fast.
Can we talk about Usher's outfit? I think his designer stole that branch from my grandma's.
Come on now, y'all.
The sequence was sending me. I couldn't handle all the sequence. That was a little like the first outfit he had on. He came out looking like somebody's grandma. When your grandma get up and testify on Wednesday service, and she got the shawl over her with the big what you call it, the big pins that you put in your
yeah.
What is that called? A brooch?
Yeah, your
what
brooch.
in the world is No.
I didn't think there was anything wrong with this outfit.
Of course you don't.
It was Dolce & Gabbana and, a beautiful beaded shirt, which actually he took up so you could see his muscles and his arms because it was like a short sleeve shirt when it started. It was a nod to like Vegas and Elvis, and Vegas is all about the glitz and like the cape and all this other stuff. Yeah, but that's what it was about. That was the inspo. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Christine. He looked like a whole fruitcake.
Oh Lord. I was feeling this outfit. He's Usher, okay? He's Usher. He can do no wrong. I don't care. Well, I won't say I don't care, but he can't do no wrong.
Where's the Cat Williams clip? What did he say? You have an unhealthy relationship with people who don't. What did he say? What did he say? I gotta find that clip. Come on. I liked him skating. I did like him skating. I liked that part. I liked when he came out looking like a superhero with the blue and black. But everything else, that I didn't like it.
Shout out to my girl.
Performance was great.
Shout out to my girl Heather really quick. She's one of my Colorado bitches. We traveled together. Heather.
Why does the shirt have abs on it? Alicia is my girl, but her top was a little too tight. Yeah, she had her fupa showing. People were making fun of her, saying that she looked a little pregnant.
I think she looks great. What is y'all? Listen,
why are you so nice for no reason?
No, because listen, I think she looks great. Y'all be judging and y'all fupas be fupa-ing, okay, over there.
I don't got
whatever. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about y'all be judging with your fupas over there.
Shout out to you, Chris, for wearing some day one Soonie merch. I really appreciate that.
Who was that?
Chris. He's saying he wears his Matta shirt all the time.
Oh, I didn't see that comment. That's so weird. Love you too, Heather.
So
Okay.
good. Love the Alicia Keys. Yeah. Let's listen. The Super Bowl halftime show was great. Thank you. You have an affinity for losers. Thank you.
Who,
you have
me?
an unhealthy affinity for losers.
I have an healthy affinity for losers.
Yeah, I think celebrities are losers. Yeah.
No, baby. I pick winners all day long. Okay. Mo picks winners.
Performance was slow. Started like the Chiefs game. The Chiefs game was a little slow, but it was competitive. That's why I enjoyed it. It was a real competitive game. Defense won and lost that game for both sides. Just put it that way.
Oh man.
Offense was struggling a whole lot of.
This is where my commenting ends. Like I don't. Mo only stuck it through to halftime to watch the half. For me, it was an Usher concert with football in between. Okay. No. I was there for Usher. Speaking of halftime show, how would you rank your top 3 halftime shows?
Beyonce and Bruno Mars is number 1 for me. Sorry. Our show. Who else? I don't really watch halftime shows, I'm gonna be honest with you. Unless it's an artist I want to hear. So I've only watched really the last 4. So Beyonce and Bruno Mars, this halftime show, and Rihanna. Those are my favorite.
Okay, so you put this halftime show in it. So I'm gonna go Michael Jackson. Thank you, Michael. 1993. Michael Woodward said it. Michael Jackson, 1993. Then I'm gonna go Beyonce. And then I'm going to go Prince, When It Rained During Purple Rain. Amazing.
Yeah, that's beyond. Before my time. I don't.
No, Prince was like a couple years ago before he died.
I don't watch the Super Bowl halftime show. That's why I said it's before my time.
Michael Jackson was before your time. What was that? 1993. How old were you in 1993?
I didn't watch that shit either. I was
3 years old. Yeah, Prince, dude. Prince was the bomb, dude. Like when it started raining on him during Purple Rain, I was like, "Is that real rain?" I was dying. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
But when Michael Jackson came out, when I tell you, my soul left my body. When Michael, because y'all back then. Like the whole, the magic of like AI and all this other stuff didn't exist, right? So like Michael was way ahead of his time. Obviously, he had like a body double on top of the screen when he popped up. Okay. But Michael literally stood there for like 2 minutes and just did his Michael thing. And he just stood there for 2 minutes and did do nothing. The Super Bowl halftime show is 12 minutes and he stood there still for 2 minutes, just wasted it. Meanwhile, Beyonce and Usher and everybody else is just sweating bullets trying to get out all their damn hits in the 12 minutes. And Michael's like, I ain't got to do nothing for the first 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to pop up from the bottom of the stage. Monique is going to lose her entire soul, which I did because I remember I was crying. Okay. I was little. So like I was Michael obsessed. I mean, I wasn't that little, but I think I was a little. I was in high school, but like I was Michael obsessed and I literally was like in tears because I loved him so much. Who else lost their soul during the Michael Jackson performance?
Don't admit to that.
Yeah, admit to it. Don't let Soonie tell you what to do. Admit to it.
But listen to her tell you what to do. What?
Say, admit if you lost your soul during the performance. Listen, you know what? Just because you had to have an attitude with me right now, listen, I can't play the audio.
Oh my God, bro.
But do you see this? Do you see this on the screen? And then boom, he was on top of the screen. And I was like, how did that happen? Obviously, body double. And then look at the stadium. It literally looks like a packed college game. It doesn't look like the Super Bowl.
Bro, what?
Dude,
Why do you do this, bro? Why do you do this?
Look at this. Look at this. This was a Super Bowl game. Does this not look like a college game?
No, it looks like a Super Bowl game.
Look at that. Ooh, look at that. God dang, the way that man just stood there and did nothing and took my entire soul. Why'd you have to die? Michael, why did you have to die? That's all I want to know.
Because he was a drug addict.
No, he wasn't, Soonie. Soonie, he was killed. He was killed.
Denial. You were in denial.
Okay. Whew. Okay, let me just cool down. I can't talk about Michael because I get hot and bothered, y'all. Michael does something to me. Okay, my ovaries literally want to like regenerate from out of nowhere because they're gone now. When I see Michael, I love him.
Okay.
Thank you, Chelly.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm 33, so don't expect that kind of reaction from me. Nah.
Oh man, y'all are so funny. Y'all are so funny. Okay. So let's talk about this spending bill. Let's get a little serious.
Why?
You want to
They're
get
not even pushing political content anyway, man. Did y'all hear that news?
All right.
I'm kidding.
You want to talk about the black comedian that told the Texas George Floyd joke? She lied.
This is very brief. We don't even have to really spend too much time on it. Look, we are sending more money outside of the country. All right. The Senate passes legislation. Now it has to go through the House for $95 billion in aid for Ukraine and Israel, but a tough path ahead for the House. All right. 22 Senate Republicans voted for the aid. That includes $60 billion for Ukraine, defying former President Donald Trump, who strongly opposed it. Senator Lindsey Scam, that's what I like to call him, a national security hawk, who once supported the aid, voted no on the bill Tuesday and echoed Trump's comment that any such aid should be a loan, even though much of the money would go to American companies to replenish U.S. arms supplies to Ukraine, which I don't know how the rest of you guys feel, but I am strongly opposed to that. As an American citizen, we don't need to be fighting in someone else's war just because we have given them some U.S., I guess, military equipment. You figure that out. I want to tell you. House Speaker Mike Johnson, in a statement Monday night, strongly suggested that he may not put the Senate bill on the floor for debate or a vote because it does not address the southern border. Notice that this is a reoccurring theme with this sitting Congress. They don't want to deal with the southern border, but they want to keep spending money in foreign countries. That's really all you need to take from this proposed legislation, because it has to go through the House before it goes anywhere to sit on the president's desk to be signed into law.
Yeah, which I don't think it will pass the House. That's why I was like floored when you said it did, because I was like, wait, what? There is something else in there. I did want to just like briefly touch on the numbers a little bit more. So, and there's a point that's not being touched on in that article or this article that I'm reading here, but I'm going to touch on it. So there's nearly $14 billion to allow Ukraine to rearm itself. There's $15 billion for support services such as military training, $8 billion that will go to help Ukraine government continue basic operation with prohibition on money going towards pensions, $1.6 billion to help Ukraine's private sector. There is $14.1 billion will go to support Israel and the U.S. military operations in the region. $4 billion will go to boost Israel's air defense, with another $1.2 billion for Iron Beam, a laser weapon system designed to intercept and destroy missiles. $2.5 billion to support U.S. military operations in that region. $9.2 billion in humanitarian assistance to provide food, water, shelter, and medical care to civilians in Gaza and the West Bank. Ukraine and others caught in war zones around the world. Also, China is included. They didn't leave them out. $8 billion to them will go to support key partners in the Indo-Pacific and deter aggressions by Chinese government. Also included is $1.9 billion to replenish U.S. weapons, $3.3 billion to build more U.S.-made submarines in support of security partnership with Australia and the United Kingdom, and $400 million for a grant program that will help nonprofits and places of worship make security enhancements and protect them from hate crimes. Great segue into our next topic. But what is not mentioned in here, but it is mentioned in the bill, is that there is a clause in this bill that basically states that even if a new president comes in, okay, everything, if voted by the House and this becomes signed, sealed, and delivered, will not be able to be changed by the next administration. So they basically have to continue to give this money as this bill lays it out. So if Trump comes into office, I think they know that he's going to pull back money from Ukraine. They're putting a clause in there that is not going to allow him to do that. I don't know if that is something that is constitutional, but that's what it is.
Can y'all please vote locally? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm begging you. Please vote locally and make sure you send the proper people to DC. Because the folks who are in DC right now, all they're doing is lining their pockets, funding wars while ignoring the fact that they're funding these wars, funding rebel groups, and then funding the victims of the rebel group. Pretending like, you know what? Let me shut up. We just need to vote the right people in office. But I do want to say, the second we start talking about politics, and I don't know if this is because conservatives are a bit sensitive about my sentiments on Republicans. I'm not a very big fan. I've become very much so apolitical. You should still stick around and listen, because you're going to hear some stuff that you need to hear. And if you care about the border, then you need to know that the people that you're supporting, they're not putting any effort towards securing the border, Democrat or Republican. So the next time you hear one of your representatives complain about the southern border, you should smack this, a few articles in their face and say, okay, then why are you sending all this money, $95 billion in total in foreign aid outside of this country?
Yeah.
Ask them those questions.
Yeah, and here's the list, if you guys want to read through it, of the Republicans in particular that voted for this. I mean, obviously, we don't care about the Democrats. We know they're going to vote for this. But this should tell you the people that have a vested interest in keeping our company in a war and sending money to these other countries, okay? Notably, Kennedy. Does that surprise anybody?
No.
Yeah. Does that surprise anybody? I don't know. Yep. Romney.
Romney, McConnell, Collins, Kramer. Yeah. That's a lot of look at here. I don't want to hear nothing about Kevin McCarthy. Y'all ran that man out of his position just to replace him with somebody who's sending even more money out of this country. I am so upset. I'm mad at what's his name? Matt Gaetz. That was a crappy move.
Yeah. So we won't spend too much time on this topic. I suspect it's actually YouTube. In fact, I can look at the analytics and see how it dropped. But this is very important stuff, guys. And I know that it's a lot more fun for us to talk about the Super Bowl and like fun entertainment topics and things like that. But this stuff we do have to cover because
it's important.
We're coming up on an election.
Yeah.
And I frankly don't want to hear anybody whine anymore about election fraud. Because that seems to be like everybody's comeback. Well, election fraud, like have they done anything about election fraud? Here's the thing. Ballot harvesting is legal, so do it. and figure out what else you can do within the legalities of the law or whatever. And anything else where there's a gap and you feel like the Democrats are being shady, find a workaround. Spend your time doing that versus getting upset over Taylor Swift and Ice Spice and her hand motions. You know what I mean? Like we need to get in the game, because like we've wasted a couple years now bitching and complaining about election fraud, and we have zero strategy.
Zero
Strategy. Yeah.
You guys want to laugh though? You guys want to get back into some
they do.
laughing topics? You sure?
Yes.
I wanted to tackle this Rafah bombing, but I think I'm going to save that for my Instagram, because we have too many strikes. I have way too many strikes on my channel right now, and I'm just getting back into the period of growing. So I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm sorry, y'all. If you want to watch that, you're going to have to watch me in a couple days on Instagram. I'll get into that whole attack that happened during the Super Bowl. Of all days, it was during the Super Bowl, and not many people are talking about it. I think she looks like Betty Boop. I think that's her name.
Who?
Ice Spice. She looks like she has Down syndrome. Like that girl looks like she's suffering from Down syndrome.
Yeah.
No shade and no disrespect to the people who suffer from Down syndrome. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Soonie? I wanted to bring this up because I wasn't sure if you saw this this story. I just saw it on TMZ, but this is a crazy story. I'm going to take Shelly's comment down so we can read this. So this said, and this happened in Miami, and this is why I wanted to cover it, because you covered a lot of like the African-American studies topics in Florida, and DeSantis's commentary on all that stuff. So this happened in Miami, and this parent basically, I'm going to read the article so you guys can understand what's going on here. So a Miami elementary school parent is outraged about a permission slip his daughter's school sent seeking his sign off on a book listening event featuring a Black author, something the school is now clarifying by blaming Florida state law. Chuck Walters, who has a kid at Coral Way K-8 Bilingual Center, posted a photo of the school's form. Here it is right here, referring to the school-related activity going down on Tuesday, where a book would be read aloud to students. The document describes the nature and activity of the event. Students will participate and listen to a book written by an African American. It goes on to note that types of guests for this activity would include a fireman, doctor, and artist. In the language, it sounds problematic. If the language sounds problematic to you, Chuck definitely felt the same way. That's the father. He wrote on Twitter, "I had to give permission for this, or else my child could not participate." He tagged the superintendent of Miami-Dade schools and included the hashtag Black History Month. I think this is crazy.
Why do you need permission to have your child listen to an African American read a story?
Yes.
See, this is why I took the stance I took on CRT and the rights version of CRT, because that's what that proposed. I don't even know if it actually went through. I kind of lost track of that story. But the rights version of CRT, which says that Blacks benefited from slavery because it taught them skills that they more or less didn't have. How we know that, I don't know. But this is exactly what I meant by these conversations creating more of a divide. Why do they need a permission slip to listen to a Black person read them a book, but they don't need permission slips to learn about gender ideology? And we're fighting about that.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what threat is coming towards your children, or why would they even need permission to be read to by a Black person? That's just odd to me.
It is very odd.
Can you send me that article? Because I hadn't heard of that. I'm going to do a video and post it on my Instagram and Facebook and all that. But what is their goal? What?
Yeah, I gotta
Can you
look
imagine
up a
getting a permission slip asking, can your kid be read to by a white person?
Yeah, that's weird. It is really weird. So like that's why I wanted to read it, because I was just like, it literally just like popped up and I was like, what? this is interesting. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is a story I'm not seeing on mainstream media.
Florida,
I would be
what are you
outraged.
doing? Yeah, what are you doing? Why are we forcing people to sign permission slips? What was he reading? Maybe it was what he was reading. But that could very well be true, but the verbiage was asking for permission to be read to by an African American. It didn't list. Did you send it to me? Let me pull it up and look at it.
I'll just send you. I mean, I don't know how to send just the article because it's like on TMZ.
Just copy the link.
Yeah, but it just gives me the TMZ. It just gives me the TMZ link, not just for the because I'm just scrolling on TMZ. It doesn't give me like the share for that individual.
Florida school asked parents for permission to have a book by an African American author read to students.
It literally just says students will participate and listen to a book written by an African American. It doesn't even say on the form, it doesn't even say what the book is. Yeah.
It doesn't really go into what the book is either.
No.
So I don't know. I would be interested in finding out what the book is, which is what I'm going to spend time doing because you just piqued my interest on something.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I'll say is Florida better require permission slips for students to read books by Caucasian people in America, or else you're singling out a group of people based on what the bias of CRT, which you were also proposing different versions of revisionist history as far as American history goes. Y'all got to be consistent on something.
Yeah.
Because that's a little nutty.
It is a little nutty. And I'm going to play, let me play this clip that's in the article because Red Pill asked if the school has responded. I think this is the superintendent speaking.
I'm sure that most of you have recently learned and heard of the rancor and the cacophony around the request for parents to complete a form to participate in related activities, related events. And my concern is that it appears that that request has extended to instruction. It has been amplified as a discourse because it most recently had been requested as a part of Black History Month activities. I've had an opportunity to read at length State Board Rule 68-10.085 relative to field trips, extracurricular activities, and other supplemental programs and activities. My concern, although I understand the initial intent of the legislature and the State Board of Education, to the extent that that has been interpreted, codified in board policy, and most importantly, applied in practice in our schools with our students and in our classrooms with our teachers, I think it's incumbent upon us to have a discussion regarding it, to provide some lucidity and clarification regarding it, and to contemplate some clarifications in the field.
Doesn't really give us much.
It doesn't. According to a local publication, which is in Florida, I'll pull it up for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We can read through this a little bit. This is funny, man. We are creating more chaos for no reason, for no reason. But parents at iPrep Academy are being asked to sign off on whether they want their children to participate in some of the educational events. I was shocked, said a parent by the name of Jill Peeling, who said that she thought she may have misunderstood the document. I'm concerned as a citizen. The permission form is asking parents if they want their kids to participate in. I don't know if you guys can see this, but
no, it's tiny.
Is it bigger now?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, close this out. So they're asking for kids to participate in class and school-wide presentation showcasing the achievements and recognizing the rich and diverse traditions, history, and innumerable contributions of the Black communities. I don't see why we need permission for that. But Miami-Dade School Board member Steve Gallen said it all has to do with getting parental consent when individuals come on campus. This is a policy that is an extension of
That's
a
not
new
what it
state board
said.
rule. That's not what it read, no. It's a policy that was just enacted last year in November, an extension of the Parental Bill of Rights. We have to follow the law. We have to implement the rules that are adopted by the School Board of Education. We cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater. We have to square some obligations for academic freedom. Listen, if they are going to do this across the board, and have parents sign permission slips for everything so that they know what their kids are being involved in, I'm all for it. I am all for it. That's awesome. But the permission slip reads, can you give your child permission to be read to from a novel that's written by a Black person? That is once again indicting an entire population with this woke ideology that we don't all believe in. Why do they need permission to listen to me? Now, if the book has the woke ideology in it and the person is going to be presenting some of that narrative, then sure.
Yeah.
Are you okay with your kid listening to this? But that's not what the permission slip read.
Okay, so yeah, and I keep going back to that because I was like, well, could it be because so much of that curriculum was like very heavy in the LGBTQ like sexual stuff that but again, we go back to what the permission slip said, and it didn't say that. Like it didn't even reference the book, so the parent could go, well, what book is being read? Not that it's by an African American author, but what is in the book, so I can review the book before you read it.
According
I can
to
understand
them,
that. Are they going to do the same thing for a Palestinian author, a Jewish author, a white author, whatever author, American Indian author?
Yeah. But according
That's a
to
whole lot of
the
permissions.
Miami-Dade School Board member, Steve Gallen, it was class and school-wide presentations showing the achievements and recognition and recognizing the rich and diverse traditions, history, and innumerable contributions of the Black community. Why do we need permission to read that? That's American history. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's American history. We don't have to have permission. I was just about to say that. We do not have to get permission to learn about Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington.
Yeah.
None of that. So, yeah, this will be something that I'll harp on for a little minute.
Yeah.
We should actually, hold on,
like that
let me do this right now. Dang, what's the button? I didn't forget the button
For
that
what?
you press for when you want to clip something on here.
Oh, didn't you say it was like P?
I hit P.
F.
It's okay.
I'm just
I marked it down. It's an hour and 10 minutes in. I'm going to send that to you so that we remember to clip that and post this because I want to see what people think. I really do.
Okay. All right.
Conservatives are loud about a whole lot, but they seem to be quiet on the stuff that's just like, huh? Why do we need permission for this?
Yeah, it's odd. I thought it was odd for sure. Another story that I thought was interesting, kind of along these lines, and I thought I had pulled up the story. I have the Instagram post. But a California elementary school teacher, my understanding is actually she's the principal, but she's currently on administrative leave after she conducted an unauthorized active shooter drill that has reportedly traumatized students, teachers, and parents. Funny enough, this is in California, a very woke state. They didn't have to get permission for this to happen. According to KTLA News, Nina Denson, principal of Washington Elementary School in San Gabriel, California, decided to hold an active shooter drill at her school to get the children prepared in case of emergency. Though her thoughts may have been in the right place, the drill took a dark turn very quickly. During the drill, Denson was reportedly walking around the school, fake shooting at children, mimicking a gun with her finger. Pew, pew, pew. She was also reportedly banging on windows to give a more realistic effect. Denson also reportedly told a student, boom, you're dead. One parent, Jennifer Chavez, says her son is traumatized. He was really upset, she said. Her son, by the way, is in first grade. The one shocking surprise thing he said as a 6-year-old was, I'm just glad none of my friends actually died. After the drill, Denson announced to the school that 7 kids were dead. Can you imagine the trauma these children potentially could go through just thinking, oh my God, my friend was killed, or I was shot. My principal told me I died, said Anna Bustamante, a parent. At a young age, this is very upsetting for these children. The district announced that Denson's drill was unauthorized, so she acted alone, and she would be placed on administrative leave. Despite this, parents say they don't want Denison back at all, saying that she has lost the trust of the community. What do you guys think about this?
I can see both sides. I can see me being like, what the fuck as a parent, right? Like, what the hell? But I would also be kind of happy that there is someone who is teaching these kids what to expect, because boom, you're dead is what actually happens in these school shooter events. And plus, we're starting to see an uptick in a lot of these mass shooting incidents. So and we're going to keep seeing it because they don't really want to secure school campuses. Uvalde is a prime example. What they proposed after Uvalde, you guys can look this up, was a huge database of potential suggestions that you can implement at the school, but nothing physical, nothing tangible. So it was more just like, here's some ideas, you can pull from this, but we don't want to have metal detectors because somehow that's going to, I don't know, mess with the minds of children. To me, that sounds like security. We don't really want to force parents to authenticate themselves coming in. I think students and parents should have IDs, period.
Yeah.
I have to have an ID to get on base. I have to present my ID, and they look at the ID to make sure that my name lines up with who I'm taking out of school.
Yeah.
Now, they don't always pull my ID because they're used to seeing me come there, but what's wrong with that? I get how it can affect a kid. I do understand that. They're children. They don't understand things like we do, but it's also incumbent upon us as parents to say, well, this is why you're learning this. This is why your principal took these drastic measures. Instead of coddling them, they live in a completely different world than we all lived in.
Yeah. I'll say this. I think the execution, no pun intended, of how she went about doing this, right? Like not informing the parents, not really like getting together with the school to kind of like devise an actual proper plan, was not the best way to go about it. However, I am 100% down with the pew, 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 and the you're dead and boom, boom, boom. 7 of your friends. And this is why. And I get that these are babies. Okay. But you guys, this is in California. I guarantee you more than half of these parents are quite all right and are marching on the streets saying, I don't care that my kid is 2 years old. If he doesn't feel like his dick belongs on his body, he can chop it off. Okay. But this is too traumatizing. Miss me with that. Okay. We live in an age where at a young age, kids are just exposed to a whole lot. And I'm sorry, a fire drill, okay, is totally different from an active shooter situation. Okay. The alarm is ringing and there's a fire and we have to organize and get out of the building. Okay. In an active shooter situation, you don't know what the enemy is doing. And it is freaking traumatic. And your kids might be the age that they are when this shit goes down, and they need to know that this situation is unlike any other situation, and it's going to be scary and it's going to be crazy. This is the world we live in today.
Yep.
So I may have surprised some of y'all with my take on this, but all I'm going to say is the principal should have made, and I guess she's the principal, right? This is her call. But I think she should have said to parents, hey, I want to have a discussion with the kids and let them know this is pretend. Okay, this is we're going to pretend like this is really happening, but it's not really happening. But we have to do it this way so you guys understand how scary this can be.
Yeah. I agree.
When I was little, my mom used to be like, if you lie to me, the kukui is going to come out from underneath your bed and he's going to kill you. And I was like, what? Yeah.
Hey, man. As long as, look, all y'all had to do was send home the permission slip like Florida's doing to ask if your child could participate in this drill.
Yeah.
And be done with it.
Yeah.
But look, some parents are just so soft with their kids, man. Like, some parents don't like the teachers correcting them.
Mm-hmm.
My husband sit back like, the teacher's like, hey, I just said be quiet. You better sit down. You're not listening to my directions. We're like, yes, stop creating entitled children.
Yeah.
Sit your butt down.
Hey. We live in a scary world. Okay, go ahead.
We really do live in a scary world. And you're going to see how freaking scary it is.
All right.
Bro, I'm not even going to tell you what this is. Close your eyes and open them up in 2 seconds.
Okay.
And listen. All right. Everybody listen.
Get rid of all the crime in America overnight. Just like that. And people ask how, Attorney Crump, change the definition of crime. Of course.
I knew it was Crump.
Define what conduct is going to be made criminal. You can predict who the criminal is going to be.
It sounds like we're criminal, though. Yeah. Our existence is
the culture.
criminal.
But they made the laws. They make the law to criminalize our culture. To fit us. Black culture. Mm-hmm. I mean, and so when I think of Eric Garner, I always think of stuff like that. Lucy cigarettes.
I did nothing. We sitting here the whole time. I'm not business. What are you talking about? You watch me do what? Who got some cigarette to? Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Guy lost his life. Yeah. And then George Floyd was trying to buy cigarettes and so forth. So you have to think about the profile.
With the counterfeit 20.
Come up with the profilers for pretextual reasons. And it happens every day, y'all. They will come and say, you can't wear baggy pants. Right. Make that a crime. Right. You can't have milk cartons in your yard. Right. Make that a crime.
Right. What?
Why am I closing my eyes?
We need to change the definition because I wanted to listen. We need to change the definition of crime, y'all, and that will bring crime down. According to Benjamin Crump.
Of course.
This is how they're going to get rid of crime, by redefining what crime means.
Yeah.
What?
Like we did with fat.
Like we did with racism, and it just made racism reappear even more. So
right.
If you're going to label the logic, if you are going to label milk cartons being in the front yard, do you not think that crime is going to increase if you're labeling these little small, minute things a crime? What George Floyd did was a crime. He used a counterfeit 20 while being high out of his mind, driving, endangering people on the road. What are you talking about? Eric Gardner was selling Lucy's. You can't do that. That is a crime. The definition of crime. Guys, let's look at the definition of crime, because Benjamin Crump, all you're doing is reinforcing the fact that people think we already suffer from low IQs. They do. Crime literally means an act committed in violation of law where the consequence of conviction by a court is punishment, especially where the punishment is a serious one, such as imprisonment. Crime, unlawful activity. Crime, a serious offense, especially in violation of morality. How are you going to redefine crime? To what? We need to clip this too. What the fuck? What country do I live in? Like,
I don't know.
seriously, what
This is
country do we
idiot.
live in, Mo?
In idiot USA. We live in an idiot country. Everybody's dumb.
And
That's
you got
what.
other men sitting up there like, yeah. You know, let's redefine it into
Mhm.
what? What do you want
Right.
to redefine crime as?
Right. You know, this is a really good segue because I forgot to mention that I wanted to talk about this, but I was called for jury duty on Monday. And I went to jury duty and it was for the criminal court. I've never been in the criminal courts. I've always been in the civil court. So it's always been like bullshit stuff. And this particular case that we were on was a illegal who was accused of sexually assaulting a 3-year-old girl. And obviously I was being, looked at as a potential juror for this case, which I wanted on this so bad because I just wanted on it. But I wanted to say a few things about my experience at jury duty, which I've never seen this before. So first off, I don't know how your jury duties go, but when I arrived, it's like, I don't know, 100 people in a room. And then, you go up one by one to the clerk and they tell you which floor you're going to go to. And when you get up to the court, you go through like a preliminary question from the judge that they ask everybody, like, does anybody have any potential schedule stuff? Can everybody read, write, understand English? And when I tell you there were 15 people eliminated from my little jury court, okay, my little court, mind you, there was other courts going on. 15 people from my room alone were eliminated because they did not speak English. And when the judge asked them if they were U.S. citizens, their answer was no. Tell me how they got a jury summons. I'll tell you how they got a jury summons. They are voter eligible. This should scare the shit out of people. Number one, that we're holding a trial for an illegal immigrant and we don't just ship his freaking ass back to Mexico. We're using our tax dollars, okay, which I don't mind because this little girl, and again, I don't know the details of this case, but this little girl was violated in the most terrible way. And I don't know all the details, but we were asked questions about the dark web. Did we think the dark web existed? Do we know what goes on in the dark web? And after hearing that there were 72 witnesses to this allegation, yes, you heard correct. When I put 72 witnesses and dark web together, I think of one thing. This little girl, God forbid, was maybe trafficked on a dark website. And the 72 people are the people that paid to watch whatever happened on the web. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. And I'll tell you what else is disgusting. And this is why I'm slowly but surely losing my faith in humanity. And when people want to post online and say to us what we should talk about and what we should be outraged about, I sat in a courtroom and I heard side conversations of people going, this is really terrible, but I just don't have time for this. And it sickened me. It sickened me because after that movie, Sound of Freedom, came out, and people were so outraged about what that movie revealed. They were like, we need to do something. This is crazy. Protect our children. # protect our children. And you guys don't have time to spend 3 days to make sure this piece of shit, okay, from a country that's not even ours, came here, and I'm going to be graphic, stuck his dick inside a 3-year-old girl, violated her in front of 72 people, and you don't have time to make sure this piece of shit pays for his crime. I was disgusted by that. I really wish that the people that got chosen for the jury do a hell of a job doing their darndest. Now, I will tell you this, it's very interesting when you're in jury duty, when they start to talk about the definitions of the law. And one of the questions that came up was, do you understand what reasonable doubt is? And they actually called on me and they said, juror number 64, can you define reasonable doubt? And I said, well, anytime you have a doubt that is within reason, you have reasonable doubt. And they said, did you know that within the state of Texas, reasonable doubt is actually not defined? It is left up to the individual. Yes. So what is reasonable doubt to you, if you're sitting next to me in the jury box, may not be reasonable doubt to me.
So, wow, Texas.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes. Yes. So, it got me to thinking, right? Because like we talk about cases all the time, and it's so easy to have an opinion about like the information you read on an article or what you see in a video even. And there's always so much more to the story. And the judge kept reiterating to us. And I'm like, man, this is why I'm not a judge, because the judge had to say over and over again, just because this man is on trial, just because he's being accused, just because there's 72 witnesses that we're going to bring before you that claim to have seen this, just because we have 2 experts that are going to testify on behalf of the state as to what happened to this little girl, you must presume he is innocent until you have seen every last person sit on that stand and give their testimony, and you have, without a reasonable doubt, no question in your mind that he is guilty. It's a sickening responsibility when you think about it.
And it makes it even worse when you think about the people who are functioning in this country who will take that, well, I get to define it the way I want to the max and try to find someone not guilty based on some technicality. That's crazy. I was just talking to Kyle about how the justice system is just screwed up, dude. Our justice system is screwed. There's a guy in Chicago, this video went viral, who admitted to all of the murders that were occurring around the time where he was out committing murders. He said, one of my best friends went to jail for me. I committed all those murders, but he took the rap for me. And it's his fault too, the guy who took the rap, because he believed in no snitching. But get this, he was at a party with his mother. There are people to corroborate him
where he was at.
And he's in jail for life due to someone else's actions. And the guy who actually committed all the murders ended up committing suicide. And that man is still in jail to this day.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible. That is terrible. Dude, in the hours that I was there, you know how I love to people watch and I'm super nosy. Yeah. So there was a lawyer who brought what I later learned was a witness in a case that was going on in the other room in one of the courts. She brought the witness out and I could hear her telling the witness, she was like, I usually don't talk to witnesses, but my understanding is you want to change your testimony. And so she's like, can you tell me exactly what it is that you want to change? So through this conversation, I learned what the situation was. So this girl was a witness for her friend who was accusing a young man of rape. Okay. Initially, she was brought in to obviously testify to the fact that, yes, my friend was raped. Okay. I hear her telling the lawyer, who is the lawyer of the girl who was raped, because the lawyer's freaking out because she's losing her witness. Okay.
Yes.
She's telling the lawyer, that's not what happened. She wanted me to come here and say that, but I can't do it. Like, I got scared when the judge started saying, like, if I lie, I could be put in jail and blah, 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 blah. And so the lawyer's like, okay, what happened? And she's like, I heard her say to him, why don't you want to have sex with me? And he was like, I just don't. And then she said something to the effect of, but you started to put your hand on my stomach and down my pants, and then you stopped. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I don't want to do this. And so the lawyer said, well, what do you think that means? And she says, I think that she's mad that he didn't want to sleep with her.
Exactly. That's what the fuck it means.
Ooh, child. I was like, Lord, this is juicy. But I was like, I'm literally hearing this happen right in front of my face. And we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
about how women false accused. So don't think for a second that somebody won't go on a stand and lie for you.
Lie for you and get away with it, because a lot of essay cases, when there's no evidence, when you wait to report it, it's hearsay. It's what someone is saying happened, and then you use other witnesses to corroborate the story.
Yeah.
All those people could be lying.
Yeah.
Which clearly is what happened here, and clearly is what's happening in the case that I just told you about.
Yeah.
And will probably happen, unfortunately, in that case in Texas.
It's probably
that you were
so
going to.
common.
He's not going to spend any time in jail.
He was facing 25 to life. I pray to God that he.
I hope he does.
Time.
But in those cases, people like that usually get a couple years in jail. Strict, what do you call it? Probation, and they have to go on the list. Clearly, the list doesn't work.
Yeah.
We need to have more extreme consequences for people who are, without a shadow of a doubt, guilty of these things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think they deserve it. They deserve a trial, but you don't deserve a jail sentence. If you're found guilty, you need to die immediately. It's time for you to go.
Well, and not knowing necessarily like how this all works, like when the state brings these charges against you, but like, where were these girls? Where were the parents? Like, why is it the state bringing the charges against him and not the family?
Maybe
like, why was this
whole ring?
Yes. Why was this little girl even a part of like this whole ring? And again, I don't know the whole story because they only give you like a snippet when they're like questioning you for jury. But God, man, I wish I would have like, I'm so messy. I wish I would have taken somebody's number down so I could like understand like what happened. And I was like trying to commit this guy's name to memory. And I was trying to find the case today, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, I know it's crazy.
Speaking of, current cases that are going to be heard in front of a jury soon, since we're talking about crime specifically, I don't even want to talk about this, but I think we should, because I think my idea of why these things are being brought up in the media, as frequent as they are, should really be discussed. There is a transgender who walked into the church, which belongs to what is his name? Joe Osteen. And were people killed? I can't remember. Sorry, forgive me, guys. I don't have all the facts to the case, but
let me read about the case and then you can go into it. So it says suspect Genesee Yvonne Moreno, accompanied by her 7-year-old boy, was armed with an AR style rifle. Houston police are still searching for a motive. Said that they have discovered a history of mental health challenges for the suspect and anti-Semitic writings. A 36-year-old woman identified as the name I gave you entered the church around 2 p.m. Sunday after breaching a west side entrance. After opening fire with her AR, she exchanged gunfire with 2 off-duty officers at the scene and was shot and killed. A 7-year-old boy, who police said was her son, was shot and critically injured. How sad. A 57-year-old man was shot in the leg by Moreno, but discharged from the hospital on Monday after he was treated for injuries. They could not say who shot the child in the crossfire, but he remains hospitalized in critical condition. And she did have a Palestine sticker on her buttstock of her rifle. How convenient.
Look, that's why I want to talk about this. What happened is sad, okay? We repeat the same thing every time that there's a mass shooting. I don't want to get redundant. It's sad. These people, no, they should not have weapons, but they also have a right to weapons unless they have been deemed mentally unstable. Me personally, I think anybody who is going under the identity of trans, non-binary, or any of the LGBTQ letters should be automatically deemed mentally unfit to own a weapon. That's my personal opinion. But I was talking to Mo, and I was like, you ever wonder why anytime there is a church shooting, 9 times out of 10 now, it's done by a transgender?
Yep.
You ever wonder why that is? I started to wonder. And in my head, I said, this is done intentionally. Because how many mass shootings, honestly, how many mass shootings do we have in a church, in a school, in a mall?
Yeah.
And I'm being serious, that don't make national news. I can give you several in the state of North Carolina that have happened that didn't make national news. That not even, they weren't on CNN, Fox News, any of that.
Good night, Shelly.
Good night, Shelly. But this case is being plastered and it's attached to churches. Here's my idea. They are trying to do all they can to make the church seem like such a detriment to these people's livelihoods, to the point where they're slowly but surely, they're already doing it, going to start trying to shut down churches because they're going to label us a hate group. I also said there are so many detransitioners coming out. You cannot miss them anymore. Every time I scroll on Instagram and YouTube now, I'm seeing a detransitioner come out and say, do not do this. They are struggling with thoughts of suicide. We know for a fact that these kids are wanting to suicide themselves because their brains allegedly don't align with their body and they're struggling. We're not helping them by helping them transition into something that they are not physically, that is doing more damage, right? So let's try to cover that up with these transgenders are shooting churches up with Free Palestine stickers on it because they can't stand how hateful Christians are, and we're a detriment to their existence. I know it sounds extreme right now. I know it sounds extreme, but why else would they constantly put churches and transgenders attached together on the news constantly, as if there aren't other mass shootings that happen in churches, schools, and malls that are occurring on a daily basis?
Yeah. Not just that, but and I want to address Shirley's comment there that she was in a custody battle with the other side and they were Jews, because I have a little bit more to the story here that I was reading, and this is why I was laughing, because I was just like, isn't it also, and it's not like when I say it's funny, it's like not ha 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 funny, but like what a convenient situation. But like, isn't it funny that like whatever the trending topic of the moment is, like in this case, you know, Israel and Palestine. Oh, what a surprise. We have a shooter with a Palestine sticker and she's in a fight with her family and they're Jewish. Like, what are the freaking chances?
What are the odds?
What?
Now that you bring that up, wow.
What are the odds? Okay. The last school shooter, he was MAGA. Like he wrote all this MAGA stuff, right? He didn't like these people and that people. And he was like, yeah, it's always very conveniently centered around the fact of whatever trending topic is of the moment. Let me read a little bit about this dispute. Okay. So apparently there was a familial dispute that had taken place between her ex-husband, and I thought she was tranny. So what are we doing calling her ex? Is she a he or a she? Is her husband gay? Like, what are we doing here? What's like, come on. Like, can we explain what's going on? Because now I'm like this is like a Spanish novella. I'm super confused. Okay. Taking place between her ex-husband and ex-husband's family. And some of those individuals were Jewish. Why does that matter? I don't know. So we believe that might be where all of this stems from. Of course it does. Police also discussed Moreno's mental health history. She was placed under an emergency detention order by officers in 2016. A lot of good that did. And said she has a history of dealing with mental illness. Officials say Moreno acted alone and is not part of the larger group. They also confirm Moreno, a Hispanic female, has used multiple aliases, including some male, including the name Jeffrey Escalante, has her lawyer said, or somebody said, Hasid said, just hours after Moreno charged the west entrance door armed with her. Okay, I'm not going to read that part. So yeah, a Hispanic, she's married to some Jews. They got in a fight and she decided to go shoot up a church.
Free Palestine just conveniently showed up.
Yeah.
Conveniently went to a church to express all your frustrations. Let's kill two narratives in one stone.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that part, but even still, like, why? And why do we as viewers, why do we keep getting enamored and like sucked in to these discussions? I have not posted about this shooting not one time. I refuse to talk about any transgender shooting. I refuse. They're mentally ill. It is not the church's fault. maybe it is some people within the church who probably did something very inappropriate with them or to them, because 9 times out of 10, and that's why a lot of these people act out the way they do. They're suffering from some sort of trauma. Okay, but that is still localized to that individual, and it has nothing to do with the church.
Okay, but wait a minute. Let's just get on the conspiracy train all the freaking way. Okay, choo all aboard. Okay,
Fine.
are we not going to talk about the fact that Houston is a gigantic city? Okay, she just happened to pick the mega church of the Joel Osteen. If you guys know Joel Osteen, okay, he is part of the Illuminati. If you didn't know, okay, he is bought and paid for by Hollywood. He is a fake. So you're telling me all the perfect storm happened. She got in a fight with a bunch of Jews. She slapped a Palestine sticker on her AR-15. She happens to be a tranny, and she just walks in to the biggest mega church with the biggest mega pastor of all time. Nobody got hurt because I guarantee you, Mr. Joel Osteen was like, well, of course you could use my church. Of course you could use my church to stage this fake hate crime. Of course we're going to shoot her dead and nobody's going to know anything about her. God. Right. You guys, it's getting funnier and funnier. I'm sorry. I'm not posting pray for fucking, what is this church? What is this fucking church? Lakewood Church. Miss me with the hashtag pray for Lakewood. Miss me with it.
I'm not praying for Lakewood. Lakewood didn't even want to accept they didn't want to take in people who were that winter storm that happened. They didn't even want people going into the church for the winter storm. We need to pray for them.
Katrina. They locked the doors. Joel said, no, you don't.
Joel Osteen.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of these stories, man. I really am. I look on social media now. Before I would be like, ooh, Mo, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this.
Now,
right? We would have so many topics that half the time we wouldn't get to them all. I don't even do that anymore. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. And if people want to tune in and listen to me talk about things that I find important, then you are more than welcome to show up. But spending time on all these topics, I'm not praying for Lakewood. I will pray for the child who is in critical condition, right? Because allegedly she took a child with her, which is in itself complete lunacy. But on top of that, you're identified as transgender, associated with Jews and Palestine. No. I'm glad we talked about this because maybe people will think deeper. Because, Graham, what's his name? Graham Allen?
Graham Allen.
How come this is not worldwide news? Why? Why do you need to push a narrative about Palestinians so freaking bad? Why can't we just care about all the innocents across the board?
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. You know what else is really convenient? It's always a child that's critically injured or dead. Because you know what you can't do with the child is release their info because they're a child. So we don't know. Listen, I'm fucking jaded. I don't know if this child even exists. I'm there right now. Okay. Meet me there because that's where I'm at. I'm not even sure this 7-year-old child exists. Show the child to me. Show me the child. Because I don't even believe it at this point. Now you got to come with the proof. Anyways, here's Jeffrey. Here's Jeffrey Moreno, Jeffrey Escalante. This is interesting. Listed sex is female. Race is white. Ethnicity is non-Hispanic, but let's look at the picture and let's look at the name. And this person was born in El Salvador. So tell me how all that fucking makes sense.
White?
Born in El Salvador. Hold on. Born in El Salvador. Not Hispanic. Female. This whole rap sheet's a lie. How am I going to believe there's a baby laid up in a bed with a shot leg? How am I going to believe it? Somebody did. Come on now. Cap. I call Cap on this whole damn thing.
Stop the cap, y'all.
Oh, God. I'm just saying.
Did you hear about we have to what time is it? I'm on time constraint these days. Okay. I got 7 minutes left in me. Let's have the latter part of the show, I think we should have fun. There's 26 people here. They're enjoying the topics that we're having. Don't pray for Lakewood Church,
no.
but pray for the child. And I agree with you, Red Pill. Mental illness is real, and we need to take mental illness in this country serious. Yeah. I think that's what we're suffering from. That's what we're suffering from the most. Forget racism, forget politics. People are mentally ill.
Yeah, and that's a lack of spirit of spiritual grounding. I think.
I agree.
Yeah,
I was gonna say something, but I could be labeled a conspiracy theorist, and I don't want to.
Go ahead. I mean, I just basically said there's no 7-year-old kid laying up in a bed with a shot leg. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Well, I kind of think that mental illnesses are linked to just evil spirits. I don't think it's anything within us, like chemically. I think that science is used to try to explain what's going on with people, but I think people are literally possessed. I do.
Yeah.
People are crazy as all get out. But what were you going to say?
Were you going to show something?
I am, but you can keep talking. We can.
Well, I was just going to. Well, while you're pulling that up, I was just going to show an example of crazy.
Fried chicken lunch, introducing Joe Biden's new strategy to win the black vote.
So Joe Biden
is that cookout?
Joe Biden stopped by a black home real quick. Here's how it went.
I went the route of making sure I had a hamburger. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Why don't you share about your passion of sports?
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really? Are you guard?
Yes, sir.
Now.
He said that because he's short. All point guards are short.
You a guard?
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade.
Right now, I'm just doing basketball, playing guard on the JV team for my school.
How about in school? How y'all doing in school? You should tell the president about the school.
Favorite thing about it is the business academy I'm in. We get to like travel, so we've been to like NC State, Wake Tech, and
You're kidding me.
we went to this small dry cleaning business, and it's cool. It's a great experience.
I'm impressed. Is that a new program at the school?
Yes, sir, it is. It just started just a couple of years ago.
You know how much this guy loves you. You can just feel it, can't you?
Yes, yeah.
Your dad jumped in front of a bull for you. By the way, we dads are hard to raise. Once you're a teenager, we're hard to raise. So you gotta be patient with us, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
A little patient.
Does anybody not believe that's that dude's kids?
Here you go. You're going down the whole lane of conspiracy theory. They don't look like him.
Fake.
I'll be honest.
No, they don't. The house
fake.
is fake.
How did how did this family get picked?
I have no idea, but his PR team decided to drop this video.
Well, y'all had to eat cookout, but y'all didn't even get the platter that you need. Like, we're the hush puppies. I didn't see no Cajun season on them fries. I didn't see the nice greasy burgers that we like to get. Chicken tenders. Where's the barbecue pork pulled sandwich? Look, that just made me miss cookout. Cookout comes through in a clutch. When you're hungry and you don't want to spend a lot, but you want to get a whole bunch of junk food at once, go to cookout.
Right.
That was cringe. That was super cringe.
It was really crazy. But I
saw that, but look, I did this. I kept scrolling because that's the old story. I saw that.
I couldn't help it.
Well, also in Black History Month, apparently Black people think that they dominate the airwaves if you're Black and you put out a record in the month of February. Because Beyonce, if you guys saw the commercial Beyonce put out where she was bragging about breaking the internet and all the ways she did it and all the ways she hasn't done it, it was also a play on feminism, being the first woman to do all these things. Please go watch the commercial and then come back and watch this again. She had two songs that came out. They were both kind of country, but fans are upset because an Oklahoma country radio station said, no, we're not going to play Beyonce. We do not play Beyonce here. Beyonce is an R&B artist.
Yeah.
The other radio stations can play it. You know, if there's a market for us over here and they could benefit from it, I'm sure they will play Beyonce. But They literally harassed this radio station.
They trying to
into
cancel
submission. Yes.
Oh,
and guess
Lord.
what? They put Beyonce in the lineup because of the Beehive that made their lives a living hell on Twitter, on the phone, all over social media. They ended up putting the song on the radio station.
That Beehive, when the Beehive come for you, it's over.
Come on, man. I requested, this is a fan, I requested Texas Hold'em at my local country radio station. After requesting, I received an email from the radio station stating we do not play Beyonce as we are a country music station. What is wrong with that? Why are they? So what? She put a country theme song out. Is she in the genre of country?
Right.
Hey, Michelle put a whole country album out, and guess what? It's right on the R&B charts. She's not a country singer. That's like Taylor Swift demanding you play her on The Breakfast Club, which is known for hip hop and R&B. No, you're not hip hop and R&B. Now, if you want to be on the hip hop and R&B stations, how about you go feature on a hip hop and R&B record?
Well, I was about to say, if she came out with like a little hip hop ish record, would that justify her being played on the hip hop stations?
No.
I didn't think so.
They bullied this poor Oklahoma radio station. I'm sorry, y'all. They don't represent all black people, all right? I would not call and harass you into submission to play a Beyonce song, which, by the way, is very mediocre. If you haven't heard the two records, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, it's whack.
It's boring. Beyonce, we need you to do dance hits, okay? Don't do this. You don't need to do. I don't know.
Go away. I'm so sick of Beyonce.
I knew something was up when I saw you at the Grammys in a cowboy hat. I was like, oh,
you've been wearing cowboy attire for about a month straight.
I know. And I was just like, you know what? We're not doing this today. Okay, Beyonce, we need you to make dance hits. I don't know what Jay-Z is telling you or what your husband was just up on stage bitching about the fact that you have never won album of the year. You think this is going to get you album of the year, girl? No. Beyonce, I got a message for you. Okay. I got a message.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. In the closet.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Don't touch. Miss, that's fine. Could you walk and talk at the same timing? It's my name and it's on that mix. So remove your bag so I can call you a kid.
They need to have that like on a karaoke lineup because that is like the ultimate song.
Bro, that
I love it.
Accent is thick.
Come
Okay, I got
on
one
now.
more topic before I got to dip out. One more topic.
All right.
This is a topic that Mo brought up that I saw, and I said, well, I guess the 40 times and 40 days of nonstop intimacy didn't keep, what's his name, Scottie Pippen, and it damn sure didn't keep Michael Jordan's son because Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan call it quits. I thought this is how you keep a man. How many times
why? I know she had sex more than with him than she did with Scotty.
We don't know why, but Larsa, who is well over 50, I'm assuming.
Yes. She's damn close.
Is participating on social media like a thought box.
Yeah.
Doing what women normally do during a breakup.
Yeah.
And this is what she posted in her stories. The man you choose to be your partner affects everything in your life, your mental health, your peace of mind, your love inside, your happiness, how you get through tragedies, your success, how your children will be raised, and much more. Choose wisely. And then the next one, she said, should your friends unfollow your ex? Don't know why any of that matters. And she went through her whole social media and removed Marcus Jordan off of everything. So he probably just got tired of, old dried up coochie.
Yeah. Well,
decided, I want something new. Maybe he wanted children.
I was about to say, I was watching her. I'm still watching her on Housewives of Miami. And, she's in the throes of the Marcus relationship during this season. And it's so pitiful because, like you said, she's like a woman almost 50 years old, and she cannot be separated from this man. Like, she literally calls him 20 times a day, and she's like, I can't be away for more than like 3-4 days because we're just never alone and we do everything together and da 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 da. You know, like, this should teach you that being a thought box, having a fake booty, you know, and all this Botox in your face, seemingly looking like a boss ass bitch is not attractive to a guy. It's not attractive. So
it's not. But
ladies, stop listening to these women when you're looking for relationship advice. That and the red pill community. Stop listening to those people too.
Speaking of the red pill community, I just, fell into a new Discord server that has nothing but red pill men in it.
Oh God.
Dude, I'm having a blast, y'all. If you're on Discord, and a lot of my followers go on Discord, Mo, you ain't got to go, okay?
No,
I'm not extending the invitation to Mo. I'm not doing that.
Mo don't slum it over there.
I go over there to debate. Look, that's reality TV. If you could have saw the stuff I saw this weekend, I was like this. Somebody come look at this. What is happening? I'm so serious. It was reality TV. If you don't want to watch TV and you want, look, this is exactly how it was.
Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
Listen, Soonie be turning her head when Mo be playing some stuff, and she wasn't turning her head when this was playing on the Discord. So I'm a little bit disappointed.
No,
sometimes
I did turn my head.
You did?
Listen, I was listening, okay, and I was sure enough giving my opinion, but I wasn't looking at this stuff because all I'm gonna say is booty holes was on blast from grown ass men sharing with other grown ass men on the Discords.
That is so gross. Yeah, you won't catch me in there. No thanks. No thanks. Doing my best, Christian Walker. No thanks. Even though he'd probably look at the booty hole. No thanks.
That wretched.
Gosh, I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in my Starbucks in a while. I'm getting concerned.
Praise
like,
God.
Did he fall out with his mama?
He need to go repent and get right with the Lord.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Well,
yeah.
That's all I got, guys. Do you have anything else?
No, that's all I have. We got through everything. We got through it really quickly and like it was super like smooth transition. I loved how I really love how we do transitions between topics. I swear to y'all, we do not plan how we do transitions or topics. We just
it happens.
We just do it. But we will be back. Yeah, we'll be back Friday with our Friday show. Jerron will be joining us for another show. And you guys, I do want to say something about Jerron. So I know some people have had some opinions about Jerron. Some people in my inbox, they have said, "Oh, I love Jerron. I love the diverse of opinions that he's bringing." And then there's some people who are a little bit soft and they can't handle diverse opinions or anything that like doesn't match up with the MAGA mentality or the Trump mentality or the Republican mentality. And to you, I say, grow a pair. Stop showing your ass on the internet. Jerron is going to be with us until Soonie and I say otherwise. I like Jerron. We think it's cool to have somebody that doesn't think like us and has different opinions. And if you don't like Jerron, then don't watch. Okay. But just saying.
She was nicer than I mean, you were meaner than me. Damn. That's a
no,
shocker.
That wasn't mean. That wasn't mean. That was just direct because
not really mean.
He's literally been on 2 shows, and to hear that like some people are like, we don't like his opinions, and I'm just like, that's the point.
Now, I got several DMs, including when I was gone. I got several DMs. And people, listen, you're entitled to your opinions. But if you are going to stop watching Somewhere in the Middle because someone you like is not on the show, I would say that you never supported Somewhere in the Middle. And I say Somewhere in the Middle because it's not just my show. It is Mo's show as well. And we collectively come to agreement on certain things. There are certain things that I don't agree with Mo on, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to follow her vision. We'll see what happens. And if I don't agree with it in the long run, then we have a conversation. But he is a Democrat, okay? And you guys constantly want us to bring Democrats on. I know you guys want us to bring them on specifically to see me or Mo kind of destroy them in a disrespectful way. But I'm not going to do that with somebody who's willing to come on and discuss with us on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
These current event topics. Now,
I
don't
think,
agree with 99% of the shit he says.
Right. I think some of you guys spend too much time in Discord with dysfunctional people, and you have lost your ability to like discern like what a normal Democrat or liberal looks like. And I think Jerron is a really great depiction of that. And I know that you guys like the drama because again, you troll in Discord and that's what you're used to is people showing their assholes. But like in the real world, decent human beings, regardless of which side of the aisle you vote on, don't behave that way. Like decent human beings are not thoughts. They're not extremists. They don't have purple hair. Jerron is a normal man who happens to be of the liberal mindset and he votes a certain way, but he's a husband. He's a soon-to-be father. He's not a criminal. He holds a job. Like this should be the type of discussion in person that we want to see more of because you guys often agree with us when you're like, we can't, we have to stop marginalizing Black people and showing the worst of them. And then here we have a guy who is a nice, clean cut, everyday American, African-American, Black gentleman, whatever you want to call him. And y'all are like, no, we don't like him. Come on, y'all. You understand why I'm annoyed. Please. Yeah.
Of course, I was annoyed too.
Yeah.
I was annoyed. It was just like, damn, man. We don't even know if this is permanent. We're seeing if this works. It may or may not work. But to like completely leave the show. Yeah. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like it at all. I express my thoughts. I respect everybody who voiced their opinions. But at the end of the day, I've been doing this for 5 years. Mo's been doing this for a number of years. We know what works, what doesn't work.
11.
Political content is phasing out. She's been doing it for 11. Political content is phasing out. Culture is what's in. And you cannot tackle culture if you do not have the opposite side on here tackling culture with you. And also, he has an audience. And I'm sorry, but I want that audience because you know what happens when those people tune in to watch us? They get to hear a more grounded, right-leaning person's response to a lot of these social issues that aren't extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fall in line with everything Candace says, but you know what? Candace is the talking head for Black conservatism. It is awesome that those people get to come over here and hear something different.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing this. It's about expanding, it's about networking, and it's about making this a platform that everyone can watch. Everybody. I would much rather see y'all debate with people in the comment section, straight up, about the things that we're talking about. I don't like to see everybody just sit here agreeing. It's boring. I don't want an echo chamber.
Yeah. And if this is above your IQ level, then go to Mitch's live. Go to Mitch's YouTube channel. Oh, my bad. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. Have a good Tuesday night.
We're going to end on that note.
Bye, guys.
They say something so offensive, but only if you get offended. I can't offend you without your permission, and you don't even have to listen. They say something so offensive.